Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered 6 Viewer-Submitted levels, so in this part I'll be covering at least 4 or 5 more Viewer-Submitted levels, starting up with this one. Suspicious Jobs Inside the Mountain by Crono MN, with 21 plays and a score of 2. As always, if you want one of our levels to be featured in a future part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels I cover in these parts, so if you want to check if your levels covered, expand the description. This level has 2 main routes. One leads to the boss and the other one leads to a secret. The secret being in quotation marks. So we can either play as Mega Man or Proto Man. For the first route, I'll be playing as Mega Man. And I see we will eventually gain access to the brick drop as well as M-tanks somewhere. Oh goody, gyres. And suddenly the stage has become laggy. Probably due to all these gyres on screen. Hopefully this can be optimized in a future version of Mega Man Maker because I've noticed this happen several times already. Like here for example, it's slowing to a standstill, oh my goodness. Why is it that gyres slow down the game this much? It's crazy. Anytime there's more than 2 or 3 gyres on screen, the game slows down by at least 30 or 40% and it gets worse if there are 4 or 5 of them. Probably an optimization issue. Hopefully that'll be fixed in version 1.4. Aha, I was a bit suspicious that there would be something here. And there's an E-tank over here, a teleporter here, and leads over to the M-tank and brick drop. I don't need that E-tank for now, so I'll leave it for my Proto Man playthrough. Good checkpoint placement. In fact, once I decide to go for that E-tank, I'll hit the checkpoint first, then go back. A lot of these coil platforms here. Let's see where this upper pathway leads to. I suppose the right pathway is a secondary path, which I will go through with Proto Man. Suddenly, instead of Techions here, this definitely feels like a Fortress level in that regard because it's assumed that you already understand how these special weapons and enemies and gimmicks work already. Alright, that was a bit of a strange one there. I tried doing a quick reset just before hitting a transition, and it was cancelled when I hit the transition. Not taking any chances here, I'll be using Rush Coil to boost my jump. I could potentially do a slide jump over there, but as I said, I'm not risking it and falling into the abyss over there. Thank you for the full refill. And I guess the boss corridor, or rather the boss room, is to the right. Pretty decently length stage. No boss. Sorry. Ah, this is what they was talking about in terms of there being a big surprise in quotation marks. It was basically nothing. No boss fight at all. Proto Man has access to the Proto Strike. And he takes double damage from enemy attacks, good to know. I guess that's a trade-off for the superior firepower. Which means I have to be careful in some of the routes, or rather some of the rooms with the gyries. Because they can just 3 or 4 shot me with double damage enabled. And I presume the brick drop is Chargeman's weakness. Time for the slow room. At least it makes some of these jumps, or rather precise jumps, a little bit easier. I mean, if I was playing with normal speed, I would have most likely gotten hit somewhere, especially at that last jump. In fact, due to the double damage, I may need to use an E-Tank somewhere in this stage. Easy peasy. Still, hit the checkpoint for some extra insurance. So let's see how the right route compares to the upper route. Quickly sliding over here, first to the right, then to the left, then again over here. Already it seems harder than the upper route. Another good checkpoint placement. It's a little bit closer than the upper pathways checkpoint, but it makes sense because this route has more instant death hazards, or at least it feels closer than the upper one. Another good checkpoint placement, and boy, I was lucky not to die in that one room with the Tachyon in the center, which was suspended over the coil platform. I thought I could hit into the spikes there. Oh goody, a crash lift riding segment. In the upper round, it would just lead over to the boss quarter, but here it's an actual challenge. That was a close one. I knew that was gonna happen. I always have problems with making these jumps, especially with the micro-stuttering that's happening. I probably should have just damage boosted off of that lyric. Phew, I made it. Those last series of ones were quite hair-raising for me. But we're at the end of the stage, which means that we're going to be fighting Charge Man here. On another series of crash lifts, that's neat. Rats, this is going to be a problem. Especially when he decides to do that. Okay, his weakness was the brick drop. Good. It would have been quite problematic to fight him if he constantly stayed down there and his weakness was not the brick drop. Worse still, if he was immune to the brick drop. Overall, a nice level. It's perfectly doable by beginner to intermediate Mega Man Maker players. It feels like a fortress level overall, though I'd say the lower route is definitely the harder of the two, especially due to that last segment. Second level on the lineup is Electrical Utility Tower by TylerBot, with 65 plays and a score of 17. So this stage is going to be at least 50 screens long as well. At least 40 to 50. Another nice makeshift teleporter made out of the tile set here. And we will eventually gain access to the rolling cutter somewhere. That is Sparkman's weakness, I suppose. Nice usage of the crash lift wires as makeshift wires for this tower. And because I don't have access to utility, I can't just make a shortcut through this Yoku Block segment. It isn't that hard though. That was a perfectly enjoyable tower climbing Yoku Block segment. Good thing I went back over here. This means that I'm going to gain access to the rolling cutter if I take this route, or the side path. The Tamas really need an HP buff. They're too easily destroyed. And lo and behold, there's the rolling cutter, and there's the checkpoint after getting it, so we don't need to repeat that segment. Bit of a close one there. Good thing the yokel block stayed there for long enough. It seems that this stage's main gimmick are the yokel blocks, and the sending up towers. While I do approve, these are rather fun. Whoops, I skipped past the ladder over there. I didn't see where that led to. I see. I guess this is an optional route leading to an optional lead tank. And the two pathways link up over here. And because I unlocked access to the rolling cutter, I can circumvent the challenges of the screen mostly. Same with this screen. The third in a series of these tower ascent challenges. And I failed this one completely, because I got shot off the platform. Once again, if you have access to the rolling cutter, you can just destroy these Sniper Joes. There we go, that's how we do it. These upward climbing yokel block challenges are definitely getting a bit harder, which I do approve of. The stage has a gradual difficulty curve, starting out easy, and the stage gradually stops pulling its punches near the end. Time to fight Sparkman in this neat arena. Gosh, the elect beams and all the magnets in this room really make this fight a bit more difficult. Though if you stay on the ground, it's not that bad. Really like this stage. I like this usage of the Yoke Block challenges, going up and down, and going left to right, well, going mainly from down to up, I mean. Nice challenge progression, nice checkpoint placement, and I do like how you're incentivized to go for the rolling cutter, and how it makes some of the challenges a bit easier. So overall, smashing job, TylerBot, as always. Third level on the lineup is Run and Gun by Hydrochlorination, with 12 plays and a score of 0. This stage is going to be at least 10 to 20 screens long. Okay, we're going to keep running and gunning to the right. Okay, checkpoint placement is definitely more frequent. And that was my fault for not attacking the screw bomber over there. And that was just poor jumping on my part. And I thought I was just standing on the left one, but guess not. I already know in advance that this stage is going to have a whole bunch of deaths. On to the second checkpoint, and an instant failure. I was hoping to damage Whisk there, but of course. So instead, classic. Well, this was certainly a neat level, I will give it that. You constantly need to be on your move, and constantly gun down enemies. And now button mash to the right in order to survive. Yikes, I now understand why Mega Man is the boss there. Did I win? Okay, I saw myself win over there, so I'll count it as a win. Let's get out of here. Oh, apparently it didn't, but you saw what happened there. Mega Man did a thumbs up pose, but then suddenly the game decided to kill me again. Overall, this was actually a neat gimmick level. Being forced to constantly move to the right and gun down enemies on top of the gyro platforms makes for some neat challenges. I'd like to see this taken further and maybe made a bit more difficult. Right now it's suited for intermediate Mega Man players, especially near the middle part of the stage, which I say is the hardest part. I certainly like this more than your previous two levels, Hydro. I will give them that. Fourth level in the lineup is Delicia Cremosa Feelings Chequer Edition by Kazar, with 14 plays and a score of 3. So this stage has something to do with delicious cream feelings. I'm not sure why. Well, I see one over there, and we start with nothing. Oh boy, one of these stages. I think I need to activate the key door first before I go down there. I'm not sure if I'll even be able to complete this stage. Wasn't fast enough there. I would just like if there was one more step with the red force beam so I had more time to react, because I feel like this stage is definitely designed for more advanced Mega Man Maker players, especially in terms of timing and jumping. So here we are in the level editor. I was never able to make it past this screen. The timing on the red force beams is just way too tight for me. At least following this segment there is a checkpoint, so I do approve. Same here actually. So this is going to be a series of challenges. I'd say that this challenge, at least for me, is going to be a bit easier because it's more based off of precision than speedrunning. Though some of these segments can be quite painful, especially when you need to jump over these two spikes here, and here, and here, and here. And then you need to race forward across these coil platforms. At least the checkpoint placement is on point, just following and preceding every challenge, so even if you die, you do not need to repeat much of the stage. Even then, once you come across another screen, you need to be quick on your feet so you can actually hit the checkpoint sometimes. And then comes the charge kick challenges. And here we fight Nightman with two gyri spawners. Oh boy, this fight could get quite laggy considering what happened in the first stage in this part. So overall, this stage is definitely designed for advanced Mega Man players. Fifth level on the lineup is Rooftop Excape by Leezy, with 8 plays and a score of 0. I'm hoping that this stage won't be as difficult as Leezy's previous stage, the one where you have to chase after Toadman. So we start off with the Mega Buster, and nothing else. I need to be careful about those spikes up above though. Okay, at the beginning of every segment we seem to get a new special weapon. At least that's what I think will happen. So the Fan Fiends can blow me off of Rush. Whoa, the spike ceiling there is rather low. And the checkpoint placement is rather generous. Then again, the chance for instant death is kind of high. And in the third segment we gain access to Rush Coil. I didn't use Rush Coil over there because I was a bit worried I was gonna bonk my head against the spikes. And surprise killer bullets. Wonderful. For this kind of stage, a charge kick is going to be super useful. And I know there's going to be a fan feed over there, I just know it. Ah, I guess not. And I was expecting the ceiling spikes to be a bit lower there. This stage's difficulty isn't that bad. Outside of some of the leaps of fate or jumps of fate isn't too bad. Just wanted to make sure there wasn't any secrets down over there. We're getting new special weapons at regular intervals, and the only main risk of this stage are falling into the pits or bonking our heads into the ceilings. And gaining access to the charge kick made this stage a whole lot easier. So I guess the level creator wants us to have full charge kick energy down over here. And I can definitely see why. Oh, I see Stone Man's weakness there. And I hit the spike down there. Wonderful. Well, at least there's a checkpoint right over here, so not much of a loss. What's your weakness? Okay, Spirit Drop, good. If I can ever get off of him. And yet I die anyway because of spines. Probably should destroy the spines first. They're much of a nuisance. And probably should kill off the magfly as well. Alright, after dying 9 times off screen, I defeated Stone Man. This boss arena is deceptively hard. Those magnet pulls can be quite dangerous and they can pull you directly into the spike over there. The rest of the stage wasn't that bad, but boy, this boss fight was certainly something. But other than the stage's low spike ceiling, it felt rather forgettable. So 6th and final level to depart is Crash Man Remix by Shin Lone Wolf 981, with 45 plays and a score of 14. I can definitely see some changes with the level architecture here. And we only have access to the Mega Man 2 utilities and 1 special weapon. And of course, here are the crash lifts. A lot more tellies than usual though. And just like the previous stages by Shin Lone Wolf, we oddly enough have to use special weapons to get up here. The original stages didn't require use of the special weapon to proceed onward with the stage, only the Fortress stages did, so I'm a bit confused. I mean, this could have been fixed with a Yoko block, or putting a telespawn over there, or a crash lift. Same here. And I see we have the split pathway when climbing up this tower. I'll be taking the left route, but of course the right route actually leads to the damn tank. Oh well. And just like the original stage, as we get higher and higher, we get to a darker and darker background. And now we're forced to use item 2 over here. Well, okay then. And we have these random blocks for extra weapon energy. And I'm dead because I didn't pick that one up. Whoops. This is gonna be a problem because now I need to farm a bit. Or take the right route. Still, thank you for putting a good farming spot over here. I suggest using one of the weapon energy capsules, or rather the weapon capsule respawners, to make the farming a bit faster. I'll just use an M-tank up over there and hope I survive. But as I said in the earlier segment, I still find it weird that we're forced to use special weapons here. The original stage wasn't a fortress level after all. Basically, this challenge is paying attention to which one of these blocks has some extra weapon energy and stopping the jet over there. Rinse and repeat. Kinda bleh if you ask me, but at least there's a checkpoint just before and after this challenge. And now we're in space. And now we're going to be facing Crashman. I already said everything I have to say about this stage. Well, there's one other thing I want to talk about. The lack of crash lift usage. Seriously, it was only used at 1 or 2 points of the stage, and not used anywhere else. They were the trademark gimmick of Crashman's stage, and their lack of usage here puzzles me. In fact, several of the design decisions here rather puzzle me. Well, I hope Shin Lone Wolf takes these suggestions into consideration for their next set of stages. I know that they can improve. Many other level designers did. So overall, out of the 6 levels I played in this part, my favorite level would definitely be Suspicious Jobs Inside the Mountain, with an honorable mention going to Electrical Utility Tower. So in the next part, I'll be covering several more viewer submitted levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!